Why is it an adjacent follow-up? Because, of course, Sophie Cunningham owned Jacy Sheldon from the same game that Marina Mabrey did the massive body slam into Caitlin Clark on. And, of course, later in the game, Sophie Cunningham would take her rightful place. She still owns Jacy. She still owns Jacy Sheldon. And what's great is she's got a great sense of humor about it, and she's not shy about it. I mean, what are they going to do?
Jacy Sheldon just got hilariously destroyed by Sophie Cunningham again. And this wasn't some quiet behind-the-scenes moment. Sophie went full broadcast mode. She delivered it on the floor. She delivered it to the fans. And then she etched it in ink.
So, lads, did any of you guys just see this? I can't believe I haven't seen this up to now. Like, I don't know when this video is going to come out. Like, I literally just got back from practice. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I have no idea. I've got a whole bunch of videos recorded when this one's going to come out. But at the end of the day, this is kind of crazy. This one is kind of crazy. When you get Sophie Cunningham to sign a Jacy Sheldon rookie card with property of, that is crazy.
But here's the real question. How did a rookie card, a hard foul, and one savage autograph turn Sophie Cunningham into the WNBA's ultimate enforcer, while Jacy Sheldon became the league's biggest punchline? Let's rewind to the circus of a game that lit the fuse. Caitlin Clark had already been targeted, a face hit by Jacy Sheldon, followed by Marina Mabrey
Target locked.
trucking her like she was auditioning for the NFL. The refs swallowed their whistles, fans were livid, and Clark, the brightest star the league has seen in decades, looked like she was being hunted. Now here's where Sophie Cunningham enters. See, Sophie isn't just another role player. She's grit, swagger, and a teammate who refuses to stand around while opponents take cheap shots.
There was like 45 seconds left. The girl stole the ball, and I was running back, and I was like, we're up. I don't need to foul. And I was like, just let her go. And I was like, all right, like, who cares? Last second, intrusive thoughts. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I like, at first, I just tried to like hold her and like put her, like grab her.
Like,
just let me explain.
Sorry.
I know what it looked like. I got her, but at the very end, and I'm not saying this is what caused it, but she dipped a little bit.
Yeah.
Like but she did dip. And then right when I saw, I was like, oh shit, like my bad. Not really my bad. And then they both came at me. I was like, fuck it. Come.
Instead of filing complaints, she added it to her to-do list. Later in the same game, Sophie delivered her version of justice. Not dirty, not reckless, just firm. When Sheldon went up for a layup, Sophie wrapped her in a bear hug and took her to the floor.
And Sheldon comes up with the steal. Sheldon going coast to coast. And here's we got another breakers here as Jacy Sheldon goes right after Sophie Cunningham.
Intentional? Absolutely. Dangerous? Not at all. It was the basketball version of "We saw that. Don't try it again." And Fever fans loved it.
And with that, you guys, you can hear it in the video right here. The Indiana Fever fans were chanting, Sophie, Sophie. Sophie's jersey is gonna sell out tonight.
Clark's safety wasn't just Caitlin's problem anymore. Sophie had made it hers. Tempers flared, players scuffled, fans roared. And in that moment, Sophie cemented her reputation. She wasn't going to let anyone target her teammate without consequences. Fast forward to a Fever fan event. Sophie's signing autographs, posing for pictures, chopping it up with the diehards. Then a fan slides over a Jacy Sheldon rookie card and asks Sophie to sign it. Not just with her name, not with a number. They wanted a statement. Sophie didn't hesitate. She grabbed the pen and wrote across the front, "Property of Sophie Cunningham."
She's the problem. She is the problem.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. And here is the said card. Property of Sophie Cunningham. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good.
That wasn't a scribble. That was a declaration. And the moment it hit social media, it exploded. Lexi Hull sitting next to Sophie dissolved into laughter. Fans lost it. Memes flooded timelines. Headlines dubbed Sophie Black Belt Barbie. And just like that, Jacy Sheldon went from being known as a top 5 draft pick to being roasted as Sophie's personal property. The bigger meaning. But here's why it mattered. Every great superstar has an enforcer. Wayne Gretzky had one. Michael Jordan had several. Steph Curry has Draymond Green. And now, Caitlin Clark, the most watched player in women's basketball, has Sophie Cunningham. Sophie isn't just a tough body. She's producing. She's torching nets, hitting 15 to 20-point nights, drilling threes like she owns the arc. That's what makes her so dangerous. Enforcer energy is cute. Enforcer energy plus efficiency. That's how you win games people remember. And this wasn't about pettiness. It wasn't about clout. When Sophie signed Property of Sophie Cunningham, it wasn't a joke. It was proportionate. It was a season's worth of targeting Clark finally getting a return address. Fever fans saw it as a line in the sand. Rivals saw it as a warning. And Sophie saw it as her role. Protector by choice, shooter by trade, and now, notary for Caitlin Clark's rivals. Jacy Sheldon. Instead of headlines about breakout games or defensive stops, her biggest moment became this, being claimed by Sophie Cunningham. She's the chick that was mean to Caitlin Clark. That's her legacy now, not the stats, not the draft hype, just being on the wrong side of Sophie's pen. And make no mistake, this rivalry isn't over. The next Fever versus Sun matchup, fans are already circling it. Cameras will be ready. Everyone wants to know, will Sheldon try to clap back? And if she does, what will Sophie's response be? Because at this point, every player in the WNBA knows one thing: target Caitlin Clark, and Sophie will make you pay for it. This is why Sophie has become the Fever's second most beloved player behind Clark. She's got edge without ego, swagger without silliness, and the production to back it all up. She's not just a teammate, she's a protector, a culture builder, and a fan favorite. That one autograph was more than ink on cardboard. It was a statement to the entire league. Our star isn't running solo anymore. And if you ask Fever Nation, that's exactly the energy Caitlin Clark deserves at her side. And that's why Jacy Sheldon just got hilariously destroyed by Sophie Cunningham. But now I want to hear from you. Was Sophie's Property of Sophie Cunningham moment in the perfect clapback? Or did it just pour gasoline on the fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you're still watching, prove it by commenting Sophie Cunningham. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more Fever Fire, and hit that bell so you never miss the drama.
Last year, WNBA players were doing everything in their power to get rid of Caitlin Clark. These minimum wage earners, they did not want to be rescued by the Great White Hope. This year, WNBA players have gotten exactly what they wanted. Caitlin Clark has essentially missed the entire season, and the WNBA has suffered the consequences.
Caitlin Clark has finally broken her silence, and what she just revealed in an emotional sit-down with Sue Bird has the entire WNBA buzzing.
But I think that's even been something like me and Steph have like always talk about when we go and watch film, and even like that New York game where like I played really, really well. Obviously scored a lot of points. I think I had 9 assists or 10 assists that game. This just this last game this year. I started the fourth quarter off with like 3 turnovers in a row or 2 turnovers in a row, and Steph yanked me, and she was like this is like a learning moment. Like you got to be able to like, yes, like maybe it could have been there. Like maybe you could have thrown a little bit better of a pass. Maybe they could have caught it, but like, do we need that in this moment? Like no. Right. And then she subbed me back in, and there was a play where I kind of got a steal, and like we're going in transition, and Kelsey Mitchell just like takes off down the middle of the floor, and so there's like 2 people kind of by her, and I literally like go to grab the ball, and then I like just dribble out and I like literally just start smiling so big, and I look at Steph, and I like told her after the game, that better be on film. Yeah, I'm like, you don't understand how hard it was for me to not throw that.
This isn't just an injury update. This is a raw, unfiltered look at what she's been battling behind the scenes. From painful setbacks to calling out the league itself, Clark's story isn't just about recovery. It's about power, pressure, and the fight to protect the game's brightest star. Caitlin Clark's rookie season was supposed to be her launchpad into superstardom. Instead, it became a stop-and-go grind that tested her physically, mentally, and emotionally.
think
I know you want to be out there.
Definitely been hard.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'm going to go to every road game no matter what, like whether I'm playing or not. Like, and it's hard because obviously I do feel this like responsibility of like being out there and playing, and like, not that I like think there's like a fear of any of this ever going away. Like, that doesn't happen when like LeBron or Steph get hurt. Like, they're always going to be there.
No,
like, you know, yeah, exactly.
It all started in the preseason when a left quad strain sidelined her before she even had a chance to find her rhythm.
Caitlin Clark will miss at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Wednesday's game at the Mystics will be the first game she's ever missed, college or pro here.
That injury kept her out from May 28th to June 10th. 5 games gone before her WNBA career had even fully begun. She fought her way back, playing well and feeling confident until the next setback hit. A left groin injury benched her for 4 more regular season games.
Well, unfortunately, Caitlin Clark will miss her second straight game due to a left groin injury. Clark missed last night's game against the Los Angeles Sparks in Cambridge Fieldhouse with the same issue. There's no official word on the severity of the injury, but the team said that they would be taking it day to day. This will be the 7th game Clark has been sidelined for this season.
Plus the Commissioner's Cup final from June 26th to July 5th. And just when she thought the worst was over, disaster struck again. This time, a right groin injury on July 15th.
New this morning, ESPN is reporting that Caitlin Clark has injured her groin for the second time this season. Clark left last night's game in the final minute, holding back tears after grabbing at her leg. She just returned back to WNBA action after missing 9 games for 2 other leg injuries. Despite the apparent injury, Clark racked up 14 points and made 4 of 14 shots.
That was the breaking point. The patience, the optimism, the belief that she could power through, all of it was put to the test. Clark described the mental toll as unlike anything she'd experienced before. In college, she had never missed a single game due to injury, but now she was tossed into game 30 without the benefit of a training camp, forced to trust a body that kept betraying her.
You do want to play. Like, you want to give people something to cheer about or scream about, or, you know, people spend so much time and money and resources to come and watch you play, and it's been cool to like see people continue to show up, and like for my teammates, whether they're like fans of the Fever or just fans of myself, like they're continuing to show up and support. And like,
each comeback carried the same fear. Would it happen again? It wasn't just the physical pain. Clark knew exactly what her absence meant for the WNBA. When she played, the Indiana Fever went 8-5. Without her, they were a flat 9-9. Attendance dipped, TV ratings dropped. A May 17th game against the Chicago Sky pulled in a massive 2.5 million viewers on ABC. Games without Clark? They barely scraped 1.5 million. Sue Bird didn't shy away from the question. How do you manage the patience to recover when you know the league's numbers take a hit without you?
Okay, so viewership and ticket sales are like up across the WNBA, and then and they're also, when you don't play, there's a dip, like a substantial dip. So how do you handle, does it impact your patience? You know what I mean? Like, you're coming back from this injury and you know this, everybody knows this, that when you play that changes.
Yeah.
I guess the better question is, how are you like managing it so it doesn't impact your patience?
Clark's answer was revealing. She shared the text her mom sent after her last injury. You've taken so much time for everybody else. You need to take time for yourself now.
I think early on with the first couple injuries, I was like, oh, like I need to get back. But I think like my mom texted me like after this last injury, and like they know how hard it's been on me. But my mom was like, you know, you've taken so much time for everybody else. Like, you have to take time for yourself now. So just trying to do that the best I can too.
It was a turning point. For the first time, she made the decision to put her health above the demands of the league, the fans, and even her own competitive instincts. But then came the moment that really set the internet on fire. Sue Bird asked about her sideline coaching while she was injured. Clark smirked and delivered the line that would be replayed 1,000 times. I'd make a good ref. I wouldn't miss a call.
I feel like I would be a really good ref though, from the side.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't miss a call.
Backseat ref.
It was subtle, sharp, and absolutely devastating to the league's officiating reputation. This wasn't a frustrated rookie venting after a bad night. This was the WNBA's biggest ticket seller calling out the integrity of the game on national platforms.
Sure, there's still hard moments, but like, I don't really care what people say. At the end of the day, like, I'm in a position where there's going to be, you know, criticism, and there's going to be people that love me. Like, that's what happens when you're playing sport at the highest level. Like, that's how it goes for everybody, whether you're a football player, basketball player, baseball player.
The response was immediate. Players from around the league messaged her with support. One veteran said, "You just said out loud what we've been screaming in the locker rooms for years." Hashtags like Clark was right and Fix the Whistle started trending. Fans began tagging her name every time a questionable call happened in other games. Inside the league office, executives were split. Some wanted to pull her aside and tell her to keep opinions in-house. Others warned that silencing her would only backfire. There was another layer to all this, one that made her comments hit even harder. Opponents weren't just playing tough defense against Caitlin Clark, they were targeting her with relentless full-court pressure, trapping her on every possession and using physical contact well beyond what's considered normal. Compared to her college days, where she had more protection, the WNBA was a completely different reality. And it wasn't random. Watch enough tape, and a pattern emerges. Teams were clearly trying to wear her down, possession by possession. Clark admitted that her injuries this year came from a level of pounding she had never faced before. Quad, groin, quad again. Each one a reminder of the physical toll. And it raised an uncomfortable question. Was this just basketball, or a coordinated plan to push the league's biggest draw to the breaking point? When Clark finally stepped back on the court, it wasn't just a game, it was a showdown. The arena buzzed with anticipation. Every whistle, or lack of one, sent ripples through the crowd. Then it happened. Early in the game, she drove hard to the basket, took clear contact, and no foul was called. The fans erupted in boos. Cameras zoomed in on Clark's face, capturing the same smirk from her Sue Bird interview. Only this time, it was aimed directly at the officials. Midway through the second quarter, she drew a foul on a three-point attempt. The whistle blew, and the arena exploded. She glanced at the baseline ref, gave a slow nod, and mouthed something fans would spend hours lip-reading online. By the end of the night, she was just shy of a triple-double, leading the Fever to a win. But the real story wasn't in the box score. It was in the message. Caitlin Clark wasn't afraid of the whistle anymore. That game sparked days of debate. Some analysts claimed she had won, earning more respect from the officials. Others argued the league was doubling down to prove they wouldn't be influenced. Former players weighed in too, some calling her fearless for protecting the game. Others warning that challenging officiating power was risky business. But Clark stayed calm in the spotlight. In her post-game presser, she simply said, "I just play the game. Everyone else can talk about the rest." So what do you think? Should the WNBA step in to protect its stars, or is this just part of the game? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're still watching, type Caitlin Clark injury in the comments.
Sophie Cunningham came to the Indiana Fever in the offseason. She's been taking full advantage of every opportunity she's got. An opportunity on the court, ballin'. An opportunity to protect Caitlin Clark, did that. Off the court, endorsement deals. Off the court, advertisers are falling in love with her. We got Colin Cowherd saying, "Hey, Sophie, you want your own podcast?" Sophie Cunningham says, "Sure, I'll take my own podcast." And what has Sophie Cunningham been doing?
Sophie Cunningham isn't just playing basketball. She's owning the WNBA spotlight, both on and off the court. And her rise to the top has been nothing short of explosive.
Now everybody knows who Sophie Cunningham is. Everybody wants a piece of Sophie Cunningham. Her jersey is the #1 selling jersey in the WNBA. Sold out. Now, why is that significant? I'll tell you. Because her jersey surpassed the all-time woman, Caitlin Clark. The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, got her jersey surpassed by Sophie Cunningham.
From gritty role player to the hottest star in the league, Sophie's transformation is turning heads everywhere. And it all started with a few bold moves that nobody saw coming.
There's a lot happening here. Sophie needed to get that off of her chest. The referees are treating her like a princess. She might as well be wearing a tiara. It's never really a winning mentality. She's made it clear she's not afraid to get a fine. The one thing that it seems that WNBA players can agree on is the officiating sucks in the WNBA. She knows how to play the game, and her game is translating just nicely to the professional ranks.
But here's the real shocker. It's not about the stat sheet. It's about dominance, presence, and a cultural takeover that's making Sophie Cunningham unforgettable. If you're still watching already, drop Sophie Rules in the comments so we know you're riding with us. So how does a player averaging just a handful of points a night become one of the most talked about names in the league? The answer is part transformation, part attitude, and part marketing genius.
I think I can be bitchy. I don't know that I'm a...
Right? That is a big distinction.
And to understand Sophie's takeover, you have to start with where she came from, because her glow-up has been nothing short of wild. When Sophie first entered the league, she wasn't known for flashy outfits or viral videos. She was known for grit. She'd scrap for rebounds, hit the deck for loose balls, and bring that edge every coach loves. But lately, she's been turning heads for a whole new reason. The muscles are leaner, the footwork sharper, and her style louder than ever. You can feel it before she even steps on the court. Watch her walk into the tunnel now and it's game over. She doesn't just belong in the WNBA, she owns every moment she's in it.
Yeah, right? No, got to sleep in today.
Her body transformation isn't an accident. She's worked on her strength, refined her movement, and built a frame that's both fierce and feminine. It's become impossible to talk about Indiana Fever basketball without mentioning how Sophie looks and moves when she enters the arena. But make no mistake, this isn't vanity. This is presence. Players can put up points, but Sophie's doing something more powerful. She's becoming unforgettable. And then came the moment. June, United Center. Sophie walks in wearing a tight white tee that says, "Hot girls eat Arby's," a short black miniskirt, and knee-high boots. The cameras flashed, social feeds lit up, and within 24 hours, that shirt sold out on Arby's website. Small and large sizes, gone first.
Anyway, she is now on the Arby's payroll, is what is happening. And maybe Arby's is going to snap back to relevance now. Here she is in the new shirt that we saw her in this weekend. Hot girls eat Arby's. And apparently sizes small and large have already sold out on the Arby's web. This is a big day for Arby's.
This wasn't a random fashion choice. It was a brand deal, sparked by a viral TikTok she'd made reviewing their food.
So we're gonna food review Arby's. Okay, we have curly fries. Didn't fill it to the top, but that's okay. A couple sliders. Oh my God, how much did I order? Honestly, not looking so bad. Okay, this is it. A little. But overall, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Arby's a solid 9 out of 10.
In one tunnel walk, she pulled off a cultural reset. She looked confident, sexy, completely in control, and proved you can ball out, cash checks, and look fine doing it.
We don't want to use and abuse it.
If you haven't seen Sophie's TikTok, you're missing half the show. Locker room dances, gym flexes, roasting refs, laughing with teammates. It's raw, chaotic, and unfiltered. And that's her superpower. She's not chasing clout, she's creating it. Case in point, a $500 fine from the league for a post-game TikTok criticizing officiating. She didn't yell or name names, just sarcasm and sharp edits.
Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless.
The internet exploded. 1.3 million views in days. Fans flooded the comments praising her for saying what others wouldn't. Instead of hurting her, that fine made her more relatable, more respected, and way more followed.
Why? Because Sophie Cunningham stood up for Caitlin Clark. She did all of these Instagrams. She did all of this stuff. And next thing you know, it all didn't matter. It didn't matter. I mean, I'm looking at her Instagram now. She's on the beach half naked. Didn't matter. You know what's now matters? That she had her moment. 591,000 followers on Instagram. That's right. Now, people are recognizing, like our Clay Travis, man, she's hot as hell. People are now saying, wait a second, give me more. Here, she takes her clothes off again. She did all that and got a lot of views. I mean, she was very popular.
And while she's not dropping 25 points every night, Sophie changes the energy the moment she checks in. The pace picks up, the defense tightens, the communication gets sharper. She's calling out mismatches, hyping rookies, challenging vets, and making sure no one on her team plays soft. One moment summed it all up. June 17th, Fever versus Connecticut. Caitlin Clark gets poked in the eye under the rim. The arena gasps. Sophie storms in and shoves Jacy Sheldon to the ground. No hesitation. The ref calls a flagrant. She gets ejected. But the crowd, electric.
And with that, you guys, you can hear it in the video right here. The Indiana Fever fans were chanting, Sophie, Sophie. Sophie's jersey is gonna sell out tonight.
The team, united. That shove wasn't about anger, it was about culture, sending a message that you don't mess with Indiana, and you definitely don't mess with Sophie's teammates. Her impact has gotten so big that Jeannie Buss, co-owner of Women of Wrestling, publicly invited her to join.
But the owners of WOW, Women of Wrestling, have offered Sophie Cunningham a position. After this just came out over the last couple of days, but it stems back from the incident we were talking about with the Connecticut Sun. Indiana Fever forward Sophie Cunningham drew notoriety when she defended her superstar teammate Caitlin Clark with a flagrant foul and subsequent skirmish against the Connecticut Sun in June. This prompted Women of Wrestling founder and co-owner David McLean, speaking at the panel at the San Diego Comic-Con on Friday, to posit that Cunningham would be a fit for wrestling. It comes after Cunningham issued a savage response to a WNBA fan on a TikTok video.
Think about that. A WNBA player so magnetic that wrestling wants her star power. This isn't just a hot streak. This is a redefinition of what it means to be a marketable athlete in 2025. Strong, stylish, savage. From Arby's deals to viral shoves, Sophie's building a lane no one else is in. And she's not waiting for permission. The WNBA is searching for its next generation of stars. And while some are hoping to be chosen, Sophie Cunningham is choosing herself. She's not asking for the spotlight, she's wearing it. And whether she's cashing a brand deal, pulling off a tunnel fit that breaks the internet, or defending her teammates in the heat of battle, one thing is certain. We're not just watching a player anymore, we're watching a takeover. So, what do you think? Is Sophie Cunningham the new face of the WNBA? If you're still watching, drop Sophie rules in the comments so we know you're part of the movement. And if you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and keep your notifications on because Sophie's just getting started and you don't want to miss what's next.